Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user ClaraZN. Am I the a-hole for not chipping in for a Gucci bag or a €3,000 birthday dinner I didn't plan? I, 29 female, and my husband, 35 male, are part of a close group of friends. We're all in our late 20s to mid-30s. Most of us are married or in serious relationships and we usually celebrate birthdays together. The usual setup has always been that the birthday person hosts and pays for everyone. But about a year ago, this weird new tradition started. For each birthday, someone opens a WhatsApp chat group and says, "Let's all chip in for this really expensive gift." We're talking about things like Hermes flip-flops, Formula 1 tickets, Gucci bags. It's all very public and a bit uncomfortable to say no. My husband and I have always gone along with it, even though it's felt a bit much at times. For example, we paid around €300 towards a €1,500 Formula 1 ticket for my husband's best friend. Let's call him Tom. At the time, it felt okay, but now things are different. We're already parents to one child, we're trying for a second, and we just opened a new business which we fully funded from our own savings. Everyone in the group knows this, including Tom. We're doing fine financially, but we're definitely being more careful. These expensive group gifts are not something we feel comfortable doing anymore. Now, a few weeks ago, it was my husband's birthday. One of the friends asked if I was going to open a WhatsApp group for a gift. I said no, my husband didn't want anything. We hosted everyone for a pool party, paid for everything ourselves, and were happy to do it. For the record, Tom gave my husband a nice bottle of tequila worth around $100. We appreciated it. I'm not complaining at all. I've never judged or compared gifts, and I've been genuinely grateful for every single one, no matter the price. 2 weeks later, it was Tom's girlfriend's birthday. He opened a group chat and said she would like a Gucci bag. I told my husband I didn't want to participate in this one. He agreed. We didn't reply in the group, but we bought her a €120 massage voucher as a gift. Her birthday was held at a really fancy and expensive beach restaurant. We went, enjoyed the evening, had fun, and made sure the birthday girl had a blast. A few days later, Tom wrote in the group that the bill was €3,000 and asked if anyone would like to contribute, they could. I told my husband I didn't want to chip in. We didn't choose the place, we gave her a gift, and again, we're being more mindful about money right now. He obviously agreed. Then, Tom messaged my husband privately and said he expected us to help with the dinner bill since we didn't join the group gift. He said our €100 gift wasn't enough, brought up the fact that we had always participated before, including for his Formula 1 ticket, and said we were being jerks for not pitching in at all this time. I honestly don't understand it. I've never once complained about the gifts we got. I've always been thankful. But suddenly, we're being labeled as the rude ones just because we made a different choice this time based on our current situation? OP, you're not the a-hole or rude. You're just done funding other people's Gucci dreams. This whole let's chip in routine doesn't sound to me like it was ever a properly thought out thing and it turned out into a group-sponsored flex disguised as generosity. You hosted, you paid, you gifted, that's plenty. Tom calling out your €100 isn't enough gift is ridiculously wild, especially after your €300 chip in for his Formula 1 fantasy. Funny how generosity turns into entitlement when the luxury isn't flowing in their direction. You did not opt out of being kind. You opted out of being played. So keep your boundary in place and just let them gossip. You've got bigger things to invest in, like your family and your future. And also, your husband should start reconsidering his friendship with Tom. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. And now let's check out the community comments. Archcat says, not the a-hole. You can tell him that you're opting out of the tradition, and since you already had a birthday and didn't ask anyone to pay, that's the proof. Helpful Inside 5023 says, not the a-hole. Serving you with a bill after the fact without informing you before the event that this would be expected is not a fair, friendly move. If Tom wants to buy expensive Gucci bags to his girlfriend and plan €3,000 dinners, that's great. But he can't expect the same level of chipping in from everyone else. It's his girlfriend, not everyone's. If Tom was a good friend, he wouldn't have stepped on multiple boundaries and calling you jerks for not paying for his ideas. Quiet Hamster 6509 says, quote, I'm sorry you feel that way. Our situation has changed and our finances are important to us, especially now we have our business and dependents. We didn't ask for something for my husband's birthday and footed the cost. We are happy not to receive gifts, but we cannot afford to shell out $500 to $1,000 for every birthday. If you all wish to continue this amongst yourselves, we obviously don't mind, but please don't pressure us. Not the a-hole. Equivalent March 3225 says, doing what Tom did is just bad manners. If I am hosting a get-together, I pay. I certainly wouldn't dream of asking other people to cough up and say that the gift they sent wasn't expensive enough. On my last birthday, I received a beautiful teapot, a selection of teas from all over the world, and my favorite biscuits. My family chose these things because they knew I'd love them. My grandma also said she'd buy me 3 ebooks of my choice. I was very grateful. It's not about the monetary value, or at least it shouldn't be. The world is so materialistic these days. It's sad. And Inevitable Slice 263 says, not the a-hole. Your husband should explain to Tom that you don't have that sort of money spare. And that's why you didn't ask for a big present for your husband's birthday and why you had your party at home. You and your husband could open a WhatsApp group with everyone and say that while you've enjoyed pitching in with the extravagant present giving in the past, your circumstances and priorities have changed. You will contribute a birthday present according to your budget, and when going out to celebrate, will pay your own way and not expect the birthday person to pay for you because you will not be able to reciprocate paying for everyone. I'm quite willing to bet that others in the friendship group would be relieved that someone is speaking up first and will back you up. Additional information from OP's comments. For those asking, this WhatsApp gift thing only started in January. Before that, it was simple. The birthday person hosts or takes everyone out, and others bring a gift if they want. Back when we were younger and broke, we mostly hosted at home. As we got older and finances improved, we shifted to restaurants. Everyone in the group is doing well financially. We've all built our careers from scratch. No handouts or favors. I'm a lawyer, my husband's a real estate broker, we own the business together, and our friends work in finance, medicine, and digital marketing. That said, I'm just not the type to drop money on luxury gifts when we've got a kid and a business to invest in. The bill Tom wanted us to help cover was more than a month of kindergarten for my son. And to be clear, we had no issue paying for our own meal. We only found out about the huge group bill days later, and no one has ever asked others to split a birthday dinner before. Also, unrelated but funny, we'd been trying to figure out who kept logging us out of our TV streaming service. We live in Europe but pay €280 a year to stream from our home country, limited to devices. Turns out, Tom's been using it for a year. Ever since my husband looked in at his place. I guess we're even. Lol. The community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and apparently they're even because Tom's been using their streaming service for a year, which is about the same amount of money. In any case, of course we've got an update, so let's move on with that to see how this story ends. After reading the comments, my husband and I realized we hadn't been as clear with our friend group as we should have been. So we wrote a respectful message in our group chat with everyone. Quote, "Hi guys, first of all, we love you all. Just wanted to say we're no longer participating in the grouped gift tradition. With our growing family and the new business, we're trying to be more mindful with money. We'll always celebrate you in our own way. Thanks for understanding." Most people responded kindly and said they completely understood. Then, one couple reached out to us privately and told us they're currently going through IVF. They said they've been feeling very uncomfortable with the pressure of the grouped gift tradition, but didn't want anyone to know what they were going through. They were afraid that if they opted out, people would ask questions. They were really relieved we spoke up. We also spoke to everyone else individually. Aside from Tom, his girlfriend, and one other couple, everyone was glad to stop the expensive gift tradition. That one other couple preferred the group gifts because they found them more convenient, but they weren't upset at all and didn't cause any drama. They just said they'll go along with whatever the group decides. Tom and his girlfriend, though, didn't take it so well. Yesterday, Tom texted my husband saying our message in the group chat felt passive-aggressive and like we were throwing shade at him. His girlfriend messaged me and said we should have just told her privately that we don't have the money instead of announcing it in front of everyone. She was upset now that the tradition was over. I tried to keep it light and said, "No problem, my birthday's coming up and I want a trip to Thailand for my whole family." She didn't respond. To make sure there were no hard feelings, we also sent Tom €200 to cover our share of the food and drinks from his girlfriend's birthday dinner. Then today, we spoke with them again and things got even more frustrating. They told us that our decision not to do any group gift or any gift at all for my husband's birthday came off as condescending and inconsiderate, as if we're better than them for not wanting gifts. Apparently, it made life harder for everyone. That was never our intention. We just genuinely didn't want anything and were happy to host and celebrate without gifts. As a group, we've now all agreed to go back to the old tradition. The birthday person hosts everyone. When we were younger, that usually meant breakfast, lunch, or dinner at home, nothing over the top. It felt more personal and less stressful, and everyone seems happier going back to that. But to recap the past gifts, Tom got a Formula 1 ticket. Another friend got VIP festival tickets, too. Another one got Hermes sandals. Tom's girlfriend got a Gucci bag. Another friend got a plane ticket to Croatia. Her husband paid for his. My husband asked for no gifts and was not giving any, which is absolutely fine. My birthday is in November, so no gift. And another friend's, the Croatia ticket husband's birthday is also in November, so no gift. Lastly, my husband and I have decided to take a step back from Tom. This whole situation made it clear that a lot of people in the group feel like they can't say anything around him without him getting offended. We're not angry, just tired. We want to enjoy our friendships without walking on eggshells. Thanks again to everyone who commented on the original post. You helped us see that we weren't crazy for feeling the way we did. In the end, we think this reset was needed for us and for the group. Well, it'll be good for you. You stood by your boundary. Everyone was actually fed up with this thing, but nobody wanted to say anything, so things are now back to normal. And I think you guys are right. Taking a step away from Tom is the best thing right now. So on that note, here's wishing you and your husband the best, OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit True of My Chest, and it's by user Vladislav1808. My brother told me I should quit making video games and work in construction with him, because that's what men do. I'm a game designer, 28 years old, and have 5 years of experience. About a year ago, I started working on a game of my own. It went pretty smoothly, and after about 6 months of development, a publisher contacted me and offered help with the marketing and delivering the game to the players once it's released. Now I'm about 5 months away from the finish line and the game is solid. We have good feedback from the people that tried it. But yesterday, my older brother told me out of nowhere that I should quit doing this game. He said I should know when to stop and that in the real world, if something doesn't work or it doesn't bring money, is not worth doing, and I must be mature enough to understand that. When I asked him what I should do instead, he said I should go work with him in construction and accept reality. He told me that once he tried to start a business and he quit at the right time, and it's time for me to do the same. The thing is, I've been funding the whole thing myself. I work 2 jobs, one full-time, one part-time, to cover my rent, my bills, and my game development. I don't ask for help. I don't rely on anyone. That conversation shook me a lot because I was very passionate about it and I thought everything is going well. I think I expected some support from my family, which I never had, not discouragement. The truth is that so far, I've got more support from friends and strangers than from my own family. It's hard to admit, but I feel very hurt and don't know how to deal with it. Maybe I need some reality check and actually have a better perspective on the situation. Has someone close ever told you that you should give up on something you were doing and how to deal with that? OP, don't give up. Your brother isn't giving you advice. He's just projecting his own failure onto your success. Look, you've got a publisher, solid feedback, and you're funding this thing by yourself. You're not delusional. You're disciplined. So keep building. And to your question, sadly, I once did have an uncle, which was one of my favorite uncles, who told me he thought I wasn't smart enough to actually study engineering. Literal words. And that sucked a lot. But I didn't give up. I took those words as a challenge. And two things have happened since then. One is I got my engineering degree without being delayed one single semester. And I got the equivalent of an A when I defended my thesis. The other thing is that I lost all respect for that uncle. In short, OP, don't listen to the naysayers. You believe in yourself. Keep going. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. And now let's check out the community comments. Altruistic Young 7789 says, your brother is jealous because he is working in construction while you're working on your dream. Tell him to kick rocks and make a game so great that will have good success. And OP responds, I don't want it to be true, but you might be right. Actually, when I was signed by the publisher, he went pretty crazy about it. He was telling everyone in the family that I will be scammed and I will lose control of my game, which is ridiculous, but I didn't pay any attention to that. Caitlin's Corpse says, quote, the thing is, I've been funding the whole thing myself. I work 2 jobs, one full-time and one part-time, to cover my rent, my bills, and my game development. I don't ask for help. I don't rely on anyone. End quote. This is also what men do. Your brother is an insecure butthead who needs to kick rocks. Keep following your dream, OP. Nal Oki says, quote, you should annex your physical health and body to survive instead of using skills and passion that would allow you to potentially live the life you want. This is because I buy into the misanthropic societal virtue and feel personally threatened that you not paying it tribute implies I didn't have to either. And boy, does my body hurt. End quote. I translated that for you. And Signal Historian 456 says, your brother is jealous because his plan didn't work out, but yours obviously does. May I ask what your game is about? And OP responds, is a 2D puzzle platformer, Limbo-like, set in a world where there are no humanity anymore, but machines, robots, and AI technologies still function as an extension of human existence. Kinda like what YouTube is turning into. The community agrees that OP is not wrong, that the brother is just jealous and he should keep going with his adventure. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. 2 weeks ago, I shared here how my brother told me to quit working on my game and accept reality, that it wasn't going to work and I should just join him in construction, like a real man does. I didn't expect so many kind and supportive messages from strangers. I want to thank everyone who took the time to share advice, encouragement, or even just understanding. It helped more than you know. Now, here's the update. I'm still working on the game. It's a passion project I've been developing with my 3 younger brothers. They're all students and want to pursue game development careers, so I brought them in to help. I even picked up a second job so I could pay them small salaries. It's not much, but I believe that all work must be paid, even at the beginning. After that first conversation with my older brother where he told me to quit, even though I have a publisher and I'm only a few months away from finishing, I decided to distance myself from him. I didn't cut him off completely, but I've kept communicating to a minimum. But he was trying to convince my younger brothers to quit working with me. He told them I was paying too little, which is true, but they're still learning and only work about 2 hours a day. He kept saying this project is a dead end, and just a few days ago, a Chinese publisher reached out to us offering a collaboration for the Asian market, which was very exciting and great news for me. That only proves that I'm doing something right and I'm very close to actually succeeding. When my older brother found out, it wasn't me who told him, he immediately tried to convince my brothers it was a scam, saying that these publishers would steal the game and pointing out that they only had a few thousand followers on social media, so they must be fake. Now I feel like my brothers are confused since they are very young and this is a weird situation, but at this point I just see sabotage behind my older brother's behavior. There's literally no way he has good intentions. I just needed to get this out. OP, I'm so sorry that you have an asshat for an older brother. He's clearly jealous of what you're building and is literally trying to sabotage you. That's just sad. If I were you, I would just talk with your younger brothers to stay put until the game launches and then see what's what. They'll still have 5 more months of learning experience in something they enjoy, so they should stop listening to that idiotic older loser brother they have. Anyways, OP, here's wishing you and your game the best. Take care and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.